This is Karen O'Brien, and this is a correction step for lesson 2 of the channel model. And so we have just finished start a test run and gotten the error message. So if you click start a test run and you receive the error message, the next step is to review the error message in Notepad and then go back into the data and fix it. So we're going to go to the project folder where we ran the model at, and you'll see here we have all of the .dat files that we exported are here, and all of the .out files are down here, but they're all empty because the run didn't go. And instead, we were told to review this file error.check. So you're going to right click and open with Notepad, or I've already set it up to always load with Notepad, so I can just double click it. I can see right away, there's a couple of messages in here, but these messages say note, note, note. So I will ignore these messages and I will just focus on this message right here. This message says that grid element number 4508 has the remaining floodplain area on the channel banks needs to be larger. So basically it means that the left and right banks are too close together. So I'm going to copy this grid element number and close the message, go back to QGIS and use the grid info tool to find grid element number 4508. So if I click the I, it'll take me to 4508. And as you can see, they do look like they're too close together. So let's find out why that is. If I click the left bank lines and I click edit, and then when I go use, and then I select the node, the vertex tool, you can see that there is no vertice inside this grid element where we might want to reposition our left bank. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see that a little better. So you can see there's a vertex right here and there's a vertex right here, but there isn't a vertex right here. So the closest distance between these two lines is actually this vertex. So all we have to do to fix this is to just put another vertex in right here. And as you can see, I've just done that. So all I did was I clicked the that little plus sign, and then I just clicked again, and I can do it a couple more places just to show you the process. But I clicked the little plus sign. I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. I clicked the little plus sign and then clicked it again to make sure that that vertice was in the grid element where I wanted to position the left bank. Let's see, did I mess up any of my cross sections? No. What you want to be careful of is just to make sure that you don't mess up any of your cross sections so that your cross section and your left bank line are still touching. Now, whenever you do make that change like that, you'll want to come back over here and click the schematize button. So click the schematize button and then click yes. And then you can see, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that cell again so you can see which one I moved. And you can see that indeed that left bank was repositioned to the new location. So now that we've done that, we've made an edit to the channel. So what we need to do is to work through the interpolation process again. So every time that if you have to go back and fix anything on the channel where you're repositioning the left and right banks, or you're maybe making an adjustment to a cross section, you need to come back in and run through the schema. So you'll click the schema button on the channel, and then you'll run through step 6 again. So step 6 will be start with the schema button, then create the channel, go put it to the lesson to export. That saves the 3 files that we need to update. Run the interpolator, import the data back into the schema layers, and then you're good to go. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So I'm just going to click the schema button just to be on the safe side. I always do it just because I kind of forget whether or not I did it. Then the interpolator button. So you go to lesson to export, select the folder. The 2 files were saved. The interpolator is now going to be called, and we didn't get an error message, so the interpolation happened okay. Import the data back in, and now we can run the tool again to see if it worked. So I'm just going to call the run again, click OK. And this time if it runs, we'll just let it run. So I don't have to do anything now. I can just let this go and then I'll close it. Well, I can just let it go, honestly. You don't have to close it. But I did close it, so that's fine. And then I want to go back into, okay, so again, we can ignore this error message. This is just a bug. Obviously, the model didn't fail, so just ignore that. And then come back here, save those and turn that off. And then we don't need those anymore, so I can clean those back up. And now this channel is ready to run the test runs. So the first run is just a test to make sure that the data is set up correctly. And then the second run, or the final run, is to make sure that that hydrograph that we put in here flows through the system correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up to run. Just leave it, and I'll just leave it and finish the recording here.